Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to talk about narcissists and their mixed messages, or you could say inconsistency. Now, narcissists are consistently inconsistent. I'm sure you're aware of this if you've dealt with any. Now, I'm going to focus specifically on covert narcissists, as they're the ones I see most people struggle with, and in the worst way. Now, the reason for this is because most of the time, covert narcissists are what we say, in quotes, vulnerable. Okay, they don't come across as grandiose or outgoing, and they're more introvert. So that makes it harder to see what's really going on behind the mask. They can sometimes even be nice or considerate, so it just makes it harder to recognize what's really going on. Now, when in a relationship with a covert narcissist, you often can experience what's called intermittent reinforcement. This is where they give you rewards at irregular intervals. For instance, they could see you one day and be really nice to you, you have a great time, and then suddenly ignore you for the next 2 to 3 days, so give you the silent treatment basically. Or they can make promises to do something, but you never see them actually do it. So they basically don't walk the talk. And at the same time, you can end up making excuses for them and accept their long list of excuses as to why they can't do A, B, or C. Now, I mostly commonly hear people tell me that covert narcissists tell them things like, oh, I miss you, I really want to see you, yet they do nothing about it. And this causes the person on the receiving end to start feeling neediness. These kind of mixed messages can be really damaging, emotionally, most of all, and they cause you to lose your sense of self. You can easily lose touch of reality and begin to make the narcissist the center of your world. And that's their goal, as it feeds their ego. So you end up becoming scared to speak up because you fear losing them. This is emotional abuse, guys. Sometimes it can be hard to see, especially, like I said, if the person seems to be nice and they don't show the typical signs of narcissism, but it is emotional abuse. And because it falls under the radar with a covert narcissist, like I said, it can be really hard to spot. But they want you to focus on them and lose focus of yourself. They want you to be hanging on, waiting for them to text you back or call you back hours or even days later with absolutely no consequences. They want you to start measuring your life based on what they do to you. So basically everything revolves around them. So what can you do in this instance if you're experiencing this kind of abuse? In one word, leave. Shut the door and do not look back. If you're married or in a situation where you have kids together, then the only thing I can say is you just have to disengage emotionally. And this is the only way to change the way they've conditioned you to be. And that's kind of like going grey rock, where you become indifferent. When you take this action, they'll likely try to punish you further. But in this instance, it won't matter, because if you disengage emotionally, they don't have an effect on you. But if you choose to engage, they do. So like I said, it's about becoming indifferent. Now, they'll begin to realize that they've lost control. And here's where you really need to stand strong, because they'll then try to reel you back in with love bombing, with the lovely texts, maybe even seeing you and behaving in the way that you want them to, and the way that you wanted them to before. They'll revert and start doing, okay, I can see that she's pushing back. Let me do what I know I'm supposed to do to get her back in or him back in. But you have to realize that this is only very temporary until they get you back to that place. And then you're going to go through the same cycle again. So it's very tormenting. Now, most importantly, you need to get to a place where your self-concept, and that's what you believe about yourself, is in alignment. So statements like, I'm worthy, I'm safe, I'm secure, reflect that. You can't rely on them for anything, because if you do, they will use it to manipulate you. Walk away from this kind of behavior, guys, as soon as you see it. It can be more traumatic than people realize. I know it's easier said than done, especially when you have this trauma bond with the person, but you really have to be strong and walk away, because the alternative is to endure emotional torment, and at a very subtle, level, where even where they can gaslight you into believing that it's not about them, that it's about you. But do not let them lie to you, and don't lie to yourself, because you deserve so much more than this kind of treatment. And always remember, the ball is in your court. If you decide to accept it, then they'll give it to you. But if you turn the tables and decide, no, I'm not going to accept this, I'm going to walk away, then you give them no power over you. You have control over yourself and your life, and what you choose to accept and what you don't choose to accept. So I hope that's helped you guys, and I'll see you on the next video.